Hey guys, tonight let's slow things down a bit. Dim the lights, put the phone face down, get comfortable. Tonight we're not storming castles or poisoning popes. We're doing something far more historically consistent. We're watching a family quietly fall apart while insisting everything is fine. So let's begin with Lissa. Not a queen, not a duchess, not even a minor noble with a tragic jawline. Just a woman in her mid-30s sitting alone at her kitchen table, staring at a message that shouldn't exist. She has just been uninvited from her parents' anniversary party, a party she helped pay for. And this is the moment where history usually tells us there's yelling, tears, a dramatic confrontation in the rain. But none of that happens. Instead, there's something much more dangerous. Silence. Because Lissa doesn't cry, she doesn't shout, she doesn't demand an explanation. She just notices something. A shift. The kind of shift historians love because it looks small at the time and ruins everything later. She realizes she's no longer a daughter. She's an inconvenience. And once you see that clearly, really clearly, you can't unsee it. Now, before we float any further, let's set the stage. Lissa introduces herself the way people do when they've spent years being overlooked. Carefully, efficiently, without asking for much space. She's a freelance photographer, mid-30s, the kind who likes quiet work, honest work. She doesn't do flashy campaigns or overproduced nonsense. She likes natural light, unposed moments, things that speak for themselves, which in hindsight is ironic because nothing in her family ever spoke unless she made it work first. From the outside, her family looked solid, respectable, the kind of people who send coordinated holiday cards, smiling faces, neutral sweaters, a suggestion of warmth. Internally, though, the roles were set early, rigid, unmoving. Her sister was the center, talented, charismatic, the gravitational pull everyone orbited. Her brother was the planner, the voice of reason, the one who kept things running. And then there was Lissa, reliable, quiet, the one who handled things. Not the favorite, not the problem child either, just the solution. And like most solutions, she was invisible once implemented. She learned early that if something needed fixing, she should fix it. If money was short, she should send it. If emotions were high, she should lower hers. So she did. Years of quiet transfers, unexpected repairs, covering gaps no one wanted to talk about. She never announced it, never made a show of it, because that's not what the steady one does. And no one ever asked what it cost her, emotionally, mentally, existentially. But that's fine, she told herself. That's just how families work. Someone has to hold the beams while everyone else decorates the house. Now, let's drift forward. An anniversary is approaching, a big one, and Lissa doesn't hear about it directly. No invitation, no details, just hints. Comments in passing, side remarks that assume she already knows, which she does, sort of, because of course she's included. Why wouldn't she be? She's helped fund this family's stability for years. And yet, as the weeks pass, something feels off. The information never solidifies. Dates stay vague, plans stay just out of reach. It's like being invited to something through fog. And then the truth arrives the way it always does in these situations. Slowly, painfully, deliberately. She realizes she's not on the list, not forgotten, not accidentally excluded, intentionally absent. Her role, it turns out, was never attendance. It was funding a version of the family that didn't require her presence. And that's a special kind of clarity. Around this time, her sister calls. There's a request. Of course there is. Travel money for a relative. An urgent situation. Lissa pauses, just for a moment. And then she says no. No explanation, no dramatic speech, just no. This is the first real deviation in years, and the response is immediate. Disappointment, subtle reproach. She's told she's adding stress, that the timing is bad, that this is an important moment for the family. Interesting how important moments always require her sacrifice. After that, communication shifts. Shorter messages, colder tones. Lissa tries to rationalize it because that's what she's trained to do. Everyone's busy, everyone's stressed. But deep down, she knows. This isn't accidental distance. This is punishment. Eventually, she asks directly about the anniversary. Not aggressively, not accusing, just asking. And her sister responds with a sentence that lands like a stamp being pressed onto wet ink. It's only for family. No pause, no clarification, just that. And in that moment, something tightens in Lissa's chest, because this isn't ambiguity anymore. This is classification. Limited space, her sister adds, a desire to keep things simple. Of course, simplicity is always the excuse when exclusion needs a soft pillow. No one says the quiet part out loud, so Lissa says nothing. She just sits there, holding her phone, and finally understands what she's been reduced to. A line item. Useful, replaceable, silent. And the strange thing is, the emotion that comes isn't anger. It's not sadness either. It's calm. Clinical calm. The kind that shows up right before someone stops participating entirely. She closes her laptop, and for the first time, she sees herself clearly, overexposed for everyone else, underdeveloped for herself. She realizes she doesn't owe them anything anymore, not because she's furious, but because the contract was voided without her consent. So she steps out of her role, quietly. She packs her things, camera gear first. She calls her best friend. "I'm leaving town," she says. No drama, no justification. Her friend doesn't ask why, just asks where. "Paris," Lissa says. "Why Paris?" Honestly, because it's far enough away to feel like a different version of herself. At the airport, something shifts again. She's surrounded by strangers, no expectations, no roles. No one needs her to fix anything. And for the first time in a long time, she feels light. This isn't revenge, it's not defiance, it's a boundary. And boundaries, historically speaking, always upset people who benefited from the lack of them. She boards the plane, and somewhere between the safety demonstration and the first gentle turbulence, the version of Lissa who kept everyone comfortable quietly retires. No ceremony, no applause, just a soft exit. And that, as history will show us, is where the real consequences begin. So let's let the plane climb, let the city shrink below us, and when we come back, we'll see what happens when absence speaks louder than obedience. Part 2. The anniversary without the steady one. Hey guys, let's settle back in. The lights are still low, the world is quiet, and somewhere over the Atlantic, Lissa is very politely not fixing anything. Now, while she's landing in Paris, let's drift back home, because history loves symmetry, and absence, as it turns out, is very noticeable once you stop pretending it isn't. The anniversary weekend arrives exactly on schedule. The venue is decorated, the music is ready, the seating chart is precise in the way only anxious people can make it. Everything looks perfect, which should have been the first warning. Guests begin to arrive, friends, extended family, people who have known Lissa for years. And at first, no one says anything. They smile, they mingle, they accept drinks. But then someone notices a gap, a familiar one. A cousin leans toward Lissa's mother and asks, casually, where she is. "Oh, she couldn't make it," her mother says. It's vague, practiced, the kind of answer designed to move the conversation along. And it does. for about 5 minutes, because another guest asks, then another. Someone jokes that Lissa is probably working because of course she is. That's what she always does. Her sister keeps smiling, keeps redirecting. Everything is under control. Until someone pulls out their phone. Now, let's pause here, because this is not a dramatic reveal. There's no gasp, no collective intake of breath, just a quiet moment where someone scrolls and tilts their screen. And there it is, Lissa's post. A simple photograph, soft light, a candid moment on a Paris street. The caption is even simpler, something about chasing quiet moments, letting joy unfold naturally. No names, no accusations, nothing sharp. And yet, the room shifts, because the implication is unavoidable. Lissa didn't disappear. She chose something else. And that's when the discomfort sets in. People start doing mental math. Paris, timing, absence. Questions form but don't quite land yet. Her mother tightens her grip on her glass. Her sister's smile starts to feel thin. Control, once cracked, doesn't shatter immediately. It creaks. Phones buzz. Whispers start. Someone mentions that Lissa helped pay for the party. Another wonders aloud why she wouldn't be invited. And suddenly, the narrative gets slippery. Back in Paris, Lissa is blissfully unaware of the slow unraveling. She's walking, observing, taking photos of ordinary life. A man reading by a window. A woman adjusting her scarf. No one asks her to perform. No one needs her to stabilize anything. Her phone stays silent for hours. And when it finally buzzes, it's not subtle. Missed calls, messages. The first voicemail is from her mother. The tone is strained, careful. Guests are confused, she says. People are asking questions. Could Lissa maybe call back? The second call comes faster, more urgency now. Some people left early. The mood is off. Then comes the request. Could she take the post down, just to help things settle? Lissa listens, calmly, and when she calls back, her voice doesn't rise. She points out something very simple. She didn't mention the family or the party. She posted a photo of her life. If people are reacting, that's not something she orchestrated. Silence on the other end, because there's no script for that. Then her sister calls. This one isn't careful. This one is sharp. Accusations spill out. Humiliation, selfishness, disloyalty. Lissa listens and then asks a single question. When did you decide I wasn't family? There's a pause, not a dramatic one, just long enough to feel intentional. And then the call ends. No resolution, no apology, just static. The brother calls next. As expected, it's structured, logical. He frames it as escalation, as damage control. The family's image, he explains, has taken a hit. This could have been handled quietly. Lissa responds evenly. She reminds him of the years she carried weight without acknowledgement, of how she was always the solution, never the concern. She says she's done being quiet. After the call, he posts something vague online, about loyalty, about priorities. It doesn't land the way he hopes. People ask questions, because vague statements invite interpretation. Back at the party, things continue to loosen. The band packs up early, conversations thin out. The celebration, so carefully curated, feels hollow. No one explicitly blames Lissa out loud, but her absence sits in every empty chair. And then the mother calls again. Later, quieter. She asks Lissa to come home, to fix things, to return to normal. And here's the thing about normal. Normal had always meant Lissa absorbing discomfort so others didn't have to. Lissa explains this gently. She says she's not angry, just finished pretending. She's building something else now. Her mother cries. Lissa doesn't. Because grief, like obligation, doesn't always come when expected. The calls slow, then stop. And in the quiet that follows, something unexpected happens. Lissa feels lighter, not euphoric, just unburdened. In Paris, her work begins to shift. There's interest. A gallery reaches out. A magazine editor compliments the honesty of her photos. Honesty. That word feels new. Her family reaches out again eventually, not to apologize, to reset, to go back. Lissa doesn't disappear this time. She simply doesn't resume her old role. And as weeks pass, the distance becomes real. Connections fade. The family image, unsupported, starts to crack on its own. And Lissa understands something important. She didn't destroy anything. She just stopped holding it together alone. And that's where we'll leave her for now, walking slowly through a city that doesn't ask her to be anything but present. When we return, we'll widen the lens, because Lissa's story, as it turns out, is older than Paris. It's a pattern. And history is full of people who learned too late or just in time that being useful is not the same as being valued. So let's rest here and let the silence do what it always does, reveal the truth.